Hi everyone, First Warn 5 Meteorologist Melissa Meeder here on our Thursday afternoon. We're going to talk about how much longer the cold is going to last. We've got a little bit more details on our Chiefs forecast for this weekend, and then kind of what to expect when temperatures are going to really start to rise again. And luckily, it's not going to be too much longer from now. So that is the good news. So for the rest of this evening into tomorrow morning, the cold continues. So we have the first warn in place for the rest of this evening into your Friday morning. Wind chill values especially are going to be the coldest on Friday morning, as they could be as cold as about 10 below. I think for the rest of this evening, though, we stay mainly between about 10 above to about the 0 mark, and then we fall through the overnight. So we'll talk about that more in detail in just a second. But then we will have a slight warm up Friday into Saturday, but things will be a little bit cooler on Sunday. The reason for that is going to be another cold front moving through the area, so we get a little bit more on the chilly side on Sunday. But I think the really good news that's not so much far on our horizon is that there's a big warm up ahead. Once we get into next week, we're going to be well above normal, and you know what? It's well deserved. We've been cold for a little bit now, most of January. So temperatures right now have crept up into the 20s. We're 20 in Kansas City as of 2 o'clock. We were in the teens until then. It's 18 in Cameron right now, so they're the coldest. But some of us are in the mid to upper 20s. It's 28 in Butler, 25 in Lacine, 27 in Garnett. But we have a little bit of a breeze, 5 to 15 miles an hour. So feels like temperatures across the area are kind of a range of the single digits into about the mid-teens. It's going to kind of be the case as we go through the rest of this evening, the teens into the single digits for those feels like temperatures, because at some points, we could be a little bit breezier than at other times, or our wind is, more quiet. So we're going to kind of hang out in this kind of range over, the rest of this evening. So be prepared for, those cold temperatures to hang around. So we will have clear conditions for the rest of this evening. So as I mentioned, we're going to kind of be in a mix of the single digits into the teens for the rest of this evening. But we will fall generally gradually by the time we get into about midnight, because temperatures will plummet with that as well. So single digits to teens is what we're expecting this evening. Clear conditions expected, so temperatures plummet pretty quickly. And then our Friday morning will be the coldest. Here, I think in Kansas City, we're anywhere between about 0 to about 5 below. However, could be a little bit colder in some areas, even as cold as about 10 below, specifically up north. Eventually, we will climb out of that as that first warn goes until about 10 a.m. on Friday morning. So the first warn will lift at 10 a.m., and that is when we start to get into the teens and into the 20s for those feels like temperatures. So we're going to be getting a little bit more warm. And unfortunately, we're using warm kind of with temperatures in the 20s, but we'll take it. So upper 20s for feels like temperatures by our Friday afternoon. So our actual temperatures will be a little bit warmer than that. Our actual temperature for Friday morning starts out around 7 degrees, clear skies, winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Usually when we see winds that are, similar to the temperature, that's when we start to see those feels like conditions below 0. So a cold morning is on tap for Friday. Not so cold in the afternoon, though. So that first warn will lift after the morning. By the afternoon, we're in the upper 30s, 37. We'll see another batch of mostly sunny conditions. We will see later in the day on Friday a little bit of increasing cloud cover. That kind of sets us up for a cloudier Saturday, but it'll be seasonal. Temperatures are going to be in the upper 30s. We'll have a little bit of a light wind again, 5 to 10 miles an hour. And then I talked about things getting a little bit more on the chilly side by the time we get to Sunday due to a cold front that'll move through on Saturday evening. So a little bit on the chilly side, but nothing we can't deal with. 33 degrees is our high temperature on Sunday. So if you know Sunday's going to be a big day here in Kansas City. That is the day of the AFC Championship. What are we working with for the Chiefs game? So if we have a high temperature of 33 degrees, that means, for tailgate, we're going to be in the 20s and 30s. So not too shabby. We will have, generally partly cloudy conditions, which will then become mostly clear. So tailgate, we're kind of flirting around the freezing mark, around 30 for kickoff, which is going to be at 5:30. upper 20s for halftime, and then by the end of the game, kind of in that mid to upper 20-degree range. Light winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. I think that's not really going to cause much of an issue for feels like temperatures. I think maybe it knocks off a few degrees here or there, but for the most part, I think what we see is kind of what we're going to get at this point on Sunday. So still make sure you're bundling up. We know how cold it could be at Arrowhead. We talked about it last weekend when temperatures were 10 plus degrees colder than this. So still going to be on the chilly side, but not quite as cold as we had last week, or even, January 16th of last year of 2024 during the Dolphins game. So nowhere near that, but still on the cool side for this time of year. Now, after Sunday, I talked about, kind of warmer air filtering in. So Sunday, we're cool. Then come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're looking at warm conditions. And what do I mean by warm? I'm talking about the 40s. Yes, I know a lot of people are probably excited about the 40s, just as am I. So it'll be around 33 on Sunday, Monday, mid 40s, Tuesday, upper 40s. The upper 40s remain on Wednesday. It gets a little bit cooler in the lower 40s on Thursday. Overall, next week is looking mostly sunny to completely sunny. And I want to point out these low temperatures too. So even Friday night into Saturday morning, we're not going to be as cold as we have been. We're in the lower 20s. The temperatures for overnights for the next 7 days will be actually seasonal to seasonably warm. So expect temperatures at night in the 20s, and temperatures during the day for the next 3 days are going to be in that 30-degree range, and then we really start to warm up by 11 degrees Monday and hang out in the 40s for the next, or I should say most of the work week next week. So we are watching the potential for a little bit of a system at this point to move through on Friday. Friday's not on the 7-day, so can't really show you that on the 7-day, but that's something that we're going to watch over the next couple of days, is if that kind of system on Friday still holds together. So of course we're going to continue to bring you the latest details in regards to all of our weather information that we have for you. So something that's just on our radar right now for a little bit of a system, a little bit more active pattern moving in towards the latter part of next week, which would be towards the end of the week and into the weekend. So once again, the good news is we're not going to be as cold by Friday afternoon. Then we're a little bit warmer on Saturday, I should say. Seasonal conditions. The coldest day of the next 7 will be on Sunday for at least daytime high temperatures. Of course, tomorrow morning will be cold, but not too shabby though, as we're around the freezing mark. Not as bad as we have been. And then we are going to see those temperatures creeping back up into the 40s, which we haven't seen since about... Well, we saw the 40s. We had a high of 47 or 48 about a week and a half ago. But if we do hit 50 one of these days, we haven't been 50 since December 29th of last year. So we're about 23 days, Well, I guess that would be, my quick mental math is not very good right here. So because it'll be latter, about, 5-6 days from now, it'll be about a month. Let's say that. Quick math there. About a month since we've been that warm if we do end up hitting 50 degrees. So we just got to hunker down, get through the cold weather, the cold morning tomorrow, and then things will be looking a little bit better. I am going to be here for this afternoon into the evening hours, and so I'll be here for the 3:30, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 6:30, and the 10. We hope you join us. I'll be giving you the latest information on the cold weather we're going to have for the next about 18 hours or so, and then we're looking, a little bit warmer here on out. We hope everybody joins us, but until then, I hope you have a great Thursday and stay warm.